Doing a switcheroo, and for those who got a trophy, just make sure you pick up your box that matches your trophy size so you can transport it home. So now we're on to the next 5 honorable mention awards. And honorable mentions receive frame certificates, and we're going to get started right now. So the first one goes to Springshot Mission Workflow for the best interaction design for team collaboration. So come on up, Tan Ma, to accept your award.
Each day, thousands of workers at airports around the country cater, clean, and service planes before takeoff and landing. But communication at these airports is inefficient and woefully behind the times. Meanwhile, workers receive little feedback on their job performance.
I work for a company called U.S. Aviation. We're contracted out to service different airlines. We're the ones that, when you get on the plane, if you're the first or the first few people on the plane, you see how all the seats are looking the same. All the seat belts are folded nice and crisp. We fill the plane with water and we dump the waste.
Springshot's mobile app provides enhanced efficiency via real-time updates on assigned tasks and flights, while rewarding users for strong performance. However, its outdated UX and design was difficult for many users to adopt. Because of this, Springshot has designed a new mobile app workflow meant to integrate modern UX and design in a friendly package for all kinds of users. Design began with user interviews and on-site visits to fully understand the day-to-day work that the app must support. We iterated on the design of the core components to develop them: a list of upcoming assignments, information on the flight being serviced, the workflow of a given mission, and any additional detail the user might need to complete their work. We emphasized key information: what needs to be completed, where it needs to be completed, and when it needs to be completed by. We then focused on the behaviors the user would take to ensure that any user, regardless of their familiarity with smartphones, could pick up the app and navigate between assignments. There are many challenges to shifting an entire service team's process, but we found strong adoption from users thanks to real-time updates on their assignments, and many users enjoy the challenge of earning XP by completing their tasks efficiently.
Para mí fue un boom. Todo era por celular, era algo más práctico. Estábamos a la actualidad con la tecnología, decíamos nosotros.
Pero el día de hoy yo soy una de las que camino preguntando, ya está el teléfono. Por eso soy una de las que ya, ¿verdad? Usted dijo algo de mí, por lo mismo por el teléfono, porque a mí sí, ahora sí me hace falta.
Con eso nos controlamos y no nos pasábamos del tiempo.
Springshot's mobile app workflow represents a complete effort to design UX for any kind of user, performing any kind of job, improving efficiency, while helping people love their work. We believe this is the true essence of user experience, blending the physical and digital worlds to intrinsically inspire the inner and holistic self.
Congratulations. Here's your certificate. I'd like to shake your hand. Congratulations. And you get a Loop 11 certificate, chocolates, and book. And I think Kelly might have a few comments on this.
I do. For me, and I think all of us, we're all sort of absorbed in the mobile app world as individuals, but how awesome is it to have something that is really a team collaboration tool? I mean, think about being on an aircraft, you've got men on the ground, men in the plane. How do people communicate, right? So, for me, an effective app design and this sort of amazingness that comes out of a collaboration tool, enabling people to effectively, collaborate across different spaces, getting that aircraft in order. Again, another important thing is the performance aspect. I can imagine you're relying on people. Is it fueled? Is it cleaned? Having something using your smartphone is pretty great. And when you think about the efficiencies in using that mobile phone, how great that is compared to other devices, the cost of doing it is pretty impressive. Question I have for you, because at the time it was in beta or is it adopted by several airlines, who's using your app?
The partner, we actually had a lot of partner company like Delta, Alaska Airlines, and American Airlines. They kind of work with us, but it's like in limited airports and limited stations, and for limited teams. So we're trying to expanding our teams and to kind of let them using our apps and help more people to finish their work efficiently.
And what has the feedback been so far?
Well, actually, it's really good. They think they really save their time and also make them can finish their work efficiently. Now they don't have to feel like they are stuck in at airport for a whole day. They know what they're gonna to do and how many missions they're gonna complete. So when they finish their work, they can sometimes leave early. And we have our award system, so their manager can know how they perform and how many hours they work and how many missions they have done. So I think it's really great. We got a great feedbacks from them.
Thank you. So next up, we've got Smart Bins from the University of Washington, who won an honorable mention for a simple user-centered solution to a complex problem.
I think all large campuses have problems getting all their citizens to throw away waste properly. People are busy, students are busy, and when you have trash, you just want to get rid of it. One of the goals of this installation is to take that act, that thoughtless act of people throwing things away, and make it a little bit fun, a little bit playful, and even beautiful.
When people deal with issues around sustainability, it can be overwhelming and depressing, and it's something that's easy to sort of shut off. And so it was important that the animations were fun to watch and that the messaging had a lighthearted quality to it and a lively quality to it, and hopefully would pull somebody in just in passing.
The installation is working and the data are promising overall. There's about 8% less contamination in bins overall. That means that on average, people are doing a better job at identifying whether an item is compostable, recyclable, or it belongs in a landfill. What we also see more importantly is that within that subset of waste which is recycled or composted, there's about a 10% improvement in how much waste is correctly recycled or composted.
One of the best effects of the installation has been that people begin to realize that they don't know everything about recycling and composting. We hope that the installation helps to educate people about the really wide variety of materials that are out there now and how they should be properly disposed.
One thing we know as designers is there's the learning that happens with whoever is engaging with the installation or exhibit, but there's a much larger effect from watching. That's a powerful knock-on effect that you get in this kind of situation.
What Karen and her team did was visually stunning and very impactful. It's established that a more interactive, more visually compelling, more multimedia type display might be the direction people need to move towards.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to the three of you. We have a certificate here, and you also get your Loop 11 chocolates and book. Thank you. Congratulations. And I think Sky might have something to say.
Here in California, we take our recycling really seriously.
Yeah, you have the best rate in the whole U.S., 60% diversion.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. You have the best rate in the U.S., 60% diversion. We're number 2.
Which is good to hear, but we also have kind of sorting paralysis because I'm always confused on what's mixed recycling. What do I put in the compost bin? And so that was really refreshing to see because moving images and video in general also helps enhance learning. So we were impressed. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next up, we've got enhancing the Fan Village experience from SAP, our gracious hosts, for the most insightful insights and actions from user research. So come on up, Matt and Jonathan. Is this playing?
With the San Francisco Bay Area hosting Super Bowl 50 last February, the host committee wanted the Super Bowl City Fan Village to pay homage to the region's rich heritage of technology and innovation.
The committee developed 3 video games for the week-long event, each with a futuristic take on football using virtual reality and motion capture technology. The problem was, as great as these games were, they were independent, disparate experiences.
So the host committee brought us in to think about how to connect the games and create something holistic out of them.
Specifically, they tasked us to provide fans with a way to see game stats in the Super Bowl City app, as well as utilize the 50-foot screen overlooking the fan village to highlight the leaderboard.
We began by interviewing the types of people who might go to Super Bowl City, from loyal fans to young, tech-savvy San Franciscans. We wanted to understand what makes a really great fan village. Then, using those insights, we wanted to find ways to enhance the overall experience using scorecards and the giant leaderboard.
When we started the design process, we quickly gravitated to the idea that it could become more shareable as someone plays more games. We adopted a trading card model, designing a front and back for the digital playing card. The front focused on shareability, trying to beautifully display the historic 50th edition of Super Bowl City and showcase the fans' favorite team. The back of the card would then go deep into the fan stats and contextualize their performance against others.
With this new focus on creating shareable digital moments, we began thinking about how to incorporate the 50-foot leaderboard. We realized it needed to go beyond traditional performance-based leaderboards and find as many ways as possible to give fans that hero moment, to see their name on the big screen.
Over the course of the week, 1.1 million people visited Super Bowl City, playing more than 17,000 sessions of the 3 games. It became the most shared,
and we hope the most cherished,
Super Bowl in history.
So congratulations, you get this wonderful certificate, and you've already heard all the other goodies that you're going to get. So thank you. And I think Grace might have some comments and maybe a question.
Absolutely. So first of all, just hats off to you for creating an experience for something, an event, with as high a bar as the Super Bowl. I think we were all kind of excited about the possibility of that. So congratulations. There were clearly a lot of stakeholders, loads of content, and lots of raving fans to engage. I think the fact that it was so insight driven, it was a bunch of delight that you were looking to create, but so driven by insights across all of these platforms that was so impressive to us. My one question is, now that it's behind you, is there anything that you would have done differently or anything that you would change about it?
Yeah, I think one of the things is, can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay, I think one of the things that maybe in reflecting, particularly for this project, about the future of UX, that we were thinking about kind of subconsciously that I would do more intentionally going forward is thinking about those transitions, because we had these really immersive experiences, but you're coming from a physical space. There's all of this going on around you. So how do you kind of ease that transition into the VR experience, and how do we pull you back and make that feel, like an end-to-end journey? So I think we hinted at that, but that more could be done in that direction.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
The next honorable, we've got 5 in total, goes to EchoDrive from 8-Bit Studios in Chicago for practical visualizations for truck transportation logistics, a tongue twister. So come on up, Carolyn, to accept your award.
EchoLogistics is one of the top logistics companies in North America. They deal with thousands of loads that go across the country, all sorts of different customers that need it, and working with hundreds of carrier companies that have the trucks that are needed to make it happen. Echo doesn't employ drivers directly. They work with the carriers who employ the drivers. And a lot of the times, those drivers are not really going to be in one predictable space at any one moment in time. So we actually went out in the field and tried to find places where we could encounter drivers naturally during times that they would be working with their loads. So we brought those insights back to work with the Echo stakeholders. And we did a lot of deep dives with the stakeholders. We were doing meetings with 15 to 20 different people where we were going through the results, and We created a big visual customer journey that explained the way that drivers, carriers, and eco logistics professionals were working together to make sure from beginning to end that the load is communicated clearly, is progressing the way it should, and reaches its final destination. So what we ended up with is a mobile app for drivers. It provides just-in-time milestone reporting that's aware of things like appointment times for pickup and delivery. We integrate load details, which surprisingly ended up being one of the biggest areas of value for drivers, because right now they have load numbers that are like 10, 12-digit numbers. So they can't take this device out. They have to rewrite each of these numbers down and physically bring that clipboard in with them to check in at different stops. For the carriers, we focused on giving them a portal that would let them see each of their loads and highlight the ones that were running behind or might have issues reported on them. So now we have the app out being beta tested by drivers in the field along with their carriers. We're gathering feedback as we go, and we are enhancing for the next versions that are going to be going out for a broader distribution. The Echo team, stakeholders, and Echo product leads worked really closely with 8-Bit's team. We had visual designers and user experience professionals working with them to go out and to understand those needs. We had visual designers working on creating the prototype that we took out to get feedback, and then we developed the app and the front-end templates for the web portal. After this, we all have a better appreciation for what it takes to get a load from one place to the other. Meet me. I don't know. They didn't actually let me do the horn. Meet me.
So congratulations, Carolyn. Here's your wonderful certificate. And I think Alan might have some comments for you.
Well, this was a really interesting thing. I mean, it used to be people went to stores to buy things, and now the truck comes to their house. I mean, so there's this whole new hierarchy of commercial transportation, and an enormous new pressure being put on the working class driver. And so it's really nice to see you bringing the benefits of good design, of digital technology, and putting it in their hands and making their lives easier. I was really impressed with the graphic, that beautiful mandala of the journey was a beautiful thing. My question is, this is either really easy or really hard, is how do you get truck drivers to talk?
It's a great question. Actually, we had a hard time. We definitely did some guerrilla usability on this. First, we went to travel centers, which is actually private property, so we got kicked out because we were asking them questions at the Subway, even though we were giving Subway gift cards, because we found out that they love Subway generally. But then we realized, as we were talking to a few of them, that they're spending a lot of time waiting at these warehouses. It's one of their biggest areas of frustration because the scheduling doesn't always work out for them. So they're sitting in their cabs for hours on end. And so we found out where they were going to be waiting, and we approached them then when they were bored and really looking for a distraction.
Very smart. How long did you have to listen to each driver before they began to tell you the truth?
Actually, they were really happy somebody was listening to them. So it just took a few open questions once they agreed to, and some of them let us tour their cab, it's really amazing how they set up their whole living space. The picture with the puppy, I don't know if you got to see that. He actually had 2 dogs, and they were totally fighting about the territory. So that's all happening in just like a few feet. So once we did get them to open up, it was totally open, and they shared everything.
Fabulous. So feel free to have a chocolate, a certificate, and a book. And last but not least, in the honorable mention, it goes to Klick Health for Steps Forward, AMA's Practice Improvement Strategies. Come on up, Michael.
The Steps Forward program was designed to be a multi-touch point program that would meet physicians where they need to be met in their moment of burnout. What we're finding is that physicians are starting to lose the joy in their practice. They're starting to forget the reasons why they became a physician. This program is designed to bring that back.
So I think the core of the ask from the AMA to us was They really need to go to physicians with a new program that felt like a new program. So one thing that's really important is these doctors digest a lot of information. They have a lot of stuff coming at them every day. So there's two things that we need to take into account here. One is right up front, the content needs to have a real empathy, that we understand your situation. And the second is that the solution that we're proposing here has been field tested. These modules, these programs and learnings have a lot of content. So it was really important to us, using the digital environment, be able to break up the content into easily digestible pieces, that we made sure that they were interactive so that they could use a series of tools. For example, we put in calculators, figure out how much money you would save by putting some of these practices into your practice. "86% of the users that engaged with the content and finished a module said that they would actually be inclined to put those learnings into use in their practice."
When we hear physicians say, I am finally getting back to spending time with my patients, something that I forgot how good that felt. That's the stuff that we're looking for to say physicians are actually going to be happier as a result of the program.
So congratulations. I'd like to shake your hands. Thank you. Here you go. Thanks. And you've got the book, the chocolates, the Loop 11, and I think Kelly might have a comment and a question for you.
Excellent job, guys. I mean, you're seeing these experiential things, these snazzy apps. What happened to a really awesome website? So, this is just an excellent tool. I mean, when I looked at it from my years gone past of content websites, how useful, the hierarchy of the content, the interface, how easy to use, the video modules, the instructional content. I read a fair bit of this site and felt like I actually could learn something. The structure of it is awesome. This is something that I thought was, again, physicians developed by physicians for physicians, really insightful. What a great tool. Not only beautiful and friendly, but really a great tool for physicians. And I guess the question I have is, what's the adoption rate? I know this is for AMA. What's out there? Who's using it? Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, the AMA really rallied behind the program. They were running events across the country. And the turnout has been massive. They've been selling out most of the events because physicians really want to get on board with this because they're geared towards outcomes, right? And so anything that will aid them in getting there, they're open to learning about. So I know that they've had tremendous success and will continue to do so long as the program keeps growing. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. So now, my gracious co-host is going to present the bronzes.